So let's come to the most important people here tonight. And I want to start the evening by trying to get to the heart of why this issue has stirred such emotion and such anger, the kinds of sense that we've seen on the streets this summer. And I want to start with a question from Diane, who lives in Slough.
Hello.
Diane.
Hello. Right, so what I would like to know is that if this was 1942 and we had the amount of people that we currently have coming across the channel in small boats, we would not have hesitated to deploy the Navy and to line our shores with soldiers to protect us, to protect the country and to protect the people in the country. Why are we not doing that and sending these boats back, redirecting them back to the countries that they are coming from, which is a safe country, as has been stated, France? Why are we not returning them?
Thank you, Diane. Mike Tapp, why aren't we just sending these people back to France and using our military forces to make sure that happens?
Thank you, Diane. It's a solid question and something I thought about in depth as well. Look, it's complex. The issue we have here with deploying the Navy is if we put them in our waters, it's not enough. We'd need to be on the shores of France, and that's French territory. So effectively, we'd need to have French permission to be on the shores. So what we're doing at this point is ensuring we're working closely with the French operationally through things like technology, radars, drones, ensuring that they've got enough people on the beach. It's not enough at the moment. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, we wouldn't see the boats crossing as they are. But we are going to put in other measures. We're working hard with the French on returns, for example. And if there's that doubt when you're sat on the beach and you're spending £10,000 to get here, that you could be immediately removed back to France, you're much less likely
but I don't think you're quite answering her question. Why aren't we putting the Royal Navy?
Well, I did answer the question in that you'd have to have French permission to do that.
We've got to have French permission to put our boats in the channel?
Right. Once you go into French waters, of course you do. The challenge we have with this sort of boat, and I must answer this properly for you, is they're very flimsy dinghies and they collapse on themselves. So if you start to try and turn one round, it collapses. You've then got up to 100 people in the water potentially dying. It's different in Australia, because I have to make that point that they're still hulled, so it makes it much more complex. But it is a top priority to get this sorted.
Zia Yusuf, you think this is not a bad idea, don't you?
Well, number one, people at home and the audience can take a view as to whether we need France's permission to deploy our own Navy to stop these boats arriving on UK shores. Secondly, the notion that our brilliant Navy and Royal Marines are incapable of boarding those boats. I didn't say they're incapable.
I've served with the military. I would not say that our military is incapable. What I'm saying is it's dangerous to turn them around. I find that quite offensive.
So listen, you're going to keep hearing words like further and faster. And what they do is they come onto programmes like this and they try to reprogram you at home into forgetting about what a catastrophe the political class have inflicted on this country. Yes, we would have no hesitation in deploying the Navy, but here's the thing, Trevor, I keep saying this again.
Can I just stop you there? Because when I asked you that question last weekend, you said, yeah, we would put the Royal Navy out. And I said to you, what would be their orders? Would they be able to stop the boats? And you said, don't be ridiculous. They wouldn't be able to do it. They'd be there to observe.
They don't know.
No, hold on. That's all right, Trevor. Either you misheard me, that's not misrepresentation of what I said.
Forgive me, here tonight.
That's not what I said.
Forget the policy doesn't know.
That's not what I said.
The reform head of policy doesn't know.
That is not what I said. No, Trevor, with respect,
I do know what people say on my own programme.
Yeah, and I was on your programme. I'm a primary witness to that conversation too, my friend. And so, look, I'm not claiming that you're deliberately misrepresenting it, but I want to be really clear about what I did say, which was that, number one, we're talking about the boats right now, and that's obviously critically important, but there's north of 1 million illegal migrants in this country already. The reason why they are coming across the channel from France is because we're a soft touch.
We're trying to answer Diane.
Sorry, Diane, he doesn't know. I'm really sorry.
If you let me finish my answer, with respect, please let me finish my answer. The reason why they're coming across the channel from France, which is a safe country, is because we're a soft touch. We offer them a much better deal than the French. The new deal under Prime Minister Farage will be you are detained by UK deportation command.
Forgive me.
You are detained, you're not allowed to walk around, and you are deported back to the country
I don't
from
want to
which
be
they
rude,
came.
but what you're actually not doing is answering her question. Are you in favour of putting the Royal Navy in the Channel or not? And if you are, what would they do?
We would have no hesitation using the Navy to detain all of those illegal migrants, transport them directly to a detention camp, and then deport them.
Lisa, what do you make of this?
So Diane talked about the early 1940s. I am immensely proud that our country welcomed my nan in the late 1930s when she was fleeing the Nazis. She was Jewish, she was living in Germany, and had she not come here, I would not exist, and she came to contribute to our country, and I'm immensely proud that our country welcomed her and enabled her to contribute in that way. We've got a really proud record that we should be really proud of. I think you're right to ask about small boats, but I want to take it even further back. Most people who are fleeing war and persecution want to seek asylum in a country much closer to home. They want to return to their country when the war or the instability is over. And so what we should be doing far earlier than when people get to the French coast is actually supporting the efforts that are going on throughout the United Nations. This war and instability is a global problem that needs a global solution. We are at our best when we take a leadership role on the international stage. And cutting the aid budget is short-sighted and doesn't help address the problems closer to where
Can we just stick with this question about the Channel?